Welcome, everybody, to the Onward Hiatus Tournament Division 2 Finals. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I am joined by a few folks on my desk here, Xandria and Theta. Xandria, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm looking forward to the matchups. Theta, I mean, Water versus Rome. It's an exciting time to be tuning into some Onward.
Sure, I'm about as excited as I can get.
I can tell the excitement boiling over in your voice, Theta. What we have coming at you today is Water versus Rome, two honestly solid teams in the VRML. I think they tend to cater into like the bottom, you know, they sometimes will get up into that top 10 every once in a while, but often more in that gold sort of tier. And I'm very interested to see what we get here, because this is essentially NA versus EU, right? I think so. Or is Water an EU team?
Both teams are NA.
Okay. I thought Rome was EU. Why did I think that?
Don't believe so.
Anyway, all 2 NA teams, so that means we're going to get some solid, a solid back and forth. I don't really know what to expect today out of both of these squads. I mean, I don't want to dive into pick bans just yet, because those kind of give you a little bit of insight. But, you know, before we do, Xandria, what kind of play style, what do you think we're going to see out of Water and Rome today?
So our team got the pleasure of playing Water, and they are very, very aggressive. I mean, they're able to throw smoke spot on and overwhelm the defense. So Rome really needs to play tight on defense for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, it's going to come down to that utility use, and we talked about 1.8 having some changes. You know, the flashbang is very effective in this version of the game. Smoke's also very effective. You know, different changes to maps. I mean, Theta, there's a lot to consider here when you go into a tournament on 1.8, right?
Yeah, there is, and you know, these teams have both been playing quite a bit, so I would hope at this point they've adapted and understand what those limitations are.
Right.
We'll just see which team has adapted better to those conditions.
Yeah, that's what this whole hiatus tournament really has been about, is how does a team adapt to an ever-changing environment. And we should get into our pick bans, because we're going to eventually be hopping into a lobby in a few minutes here. But Andrea, what do we have coming in from Water and Rome today?
All right, so our home team Water have banned Downfall, and our away team Rome have banned Bizarre.
I mean, give me your thoughts. What are you thinking? Do you see any logic or any reason behind these bans?
I think Water really does well in small, peaky kind of maps, so I can definitely understand the Downfall ban. Rome banning Bizarre, I kind of always considered them pretty strong on that map. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, maybe just not feeling comfortable with the current way utility works on Bizarre. You know, like we said, 1.8 definitely throws in some elements to there. And I do think what's interesting to note is that both of these maps, Downfall and Bizarre, have been relatively unaffected by 1.8. So we are going to have the likes of Quarantine still on the table here, Suburbia, and a couple of other maps that have seen some noticeable changes in 1.8. And like you said, Theta, they've got to have practiced for these situations, right? They've got to be ready for a Quarantine map pick.
Yeah, and to me, Quarantine, I know it's been mentioned in other casts as well, but Quarantine is really the wild card pick still at this point.
Yeah.
Even though everybody's been playing it a bit, it's still not quite figured out. I don't think there's enough reps on it at this point in competition for people to really have a handle on it. So,
right.
You know, we'll see, you know, who can figure out that game faster than the other on this go around.
It is certainly an exciting time. I know Rome has certainly been talking up a good game about how they're excited for this sort of hiatus tournament showdown, if you will, for Division 2. And yeah, I mean, we've had some great Onward so far today, right? Division 1 hiatus tournament finals, beginners and aimless gaming. That was a fantastic back and forth. We had a great Division 3 finals with Quest Tickles and OJC yesterday. And now here, I mean, Division 2, it's really going to be another just, you know, I expect textbook Onward, and I do expect some innovative plays to be coming out here, to be brought in from both of these teams. We don't know what the map is going to be quite yet. Xandria, Water is home. What map do you think we're going to be seeing potentially for map 1?
I would have to guess a Cargo. Just as I said before, they really like those small, fast, peaky maps. So I think that'll be advantageous for them.
Yeah, the quick corners, the quick peaks, certainly something that Water has excelled at. You know, again though, Rome, I've seen them do well in the close quarter situations. Also, you know, and both these teams have been playing great over this hiatus tournament. So, yeah, not sure what to expect today. I can't say. I guess what I do expect is a good back and forth. I anticipate us to be hopefully getting down to a third map, a best of 3, but. We'll see, you know, if a team wins 2 maps, that's going to be it here for us on Division 2. But we're going to take a brief break before we get into that action. Only going to be a few minutes here before we dive right into map number 1. And again, we don't know where it's going to be, but we'll tell you as soon as we know. So stay tuned. The Hiatus Tournament Division 2 Finals coming at you in just a few moments.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a little more open than say cargo, but it's still very close. And you know, rounds typically 3 minutes or less for water anyway.
Sure. And I think that Rome has a bit of a foil to that, just in the sense that they have a lot of plays geared towards very fast caps. Particularly Gladiator has a bit of a reputation for that. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I would say Water maybe has a slight edge in the shorter range maps, but you know, Rome is no slouch when it comes to these sorts of maps either. So, you know, they can butt heads in a situation like this. It's much more of an equal battle, in my opinion, when they're on a smaller map.
There it is. I think Water's gonna walk away with it.
Yeah, I think I would lean towards Water as well. I think they're just a little more multi-dimensional. They're, I think, a little bit better at controlling the tempo, and I think that'll make the difference here.
Watch the game as we hop right in to round number 1 of Map 1. The Division 2 Hiatus Tournament Finals underway, and we're about to see what both of these teams are made of. Bit of a standard push out here. Engage Lich King. Not really much pre-fire. As I say that, there does ring out some over on the west side. Look at how heavily stacked the east is from Rome. Manbear Ping, Lorena, and Gladiator all loaded up on the east, waiting for that entry to come in here. And it's definitely a more prominent side, right? Especially with some of the newer additions over onto this east side. A couple of new pieces of cover sort of open up how you can move around here on this map.
Yeah, I mean, this map's kind of been opened up a little more. We almost consider it a fifth lane over here on the east side.
It might as well be, because those shrubs now are essentially walls. Sure, they're penetrable, but you can't see anything through those shrubs, so they are essentially a solid piece of cover to work around. And unless the team is queuing in, ooh, a nice nade from Semper is going to catch from Gladiator, excuse me, catching Semper on his move. Aiden trying to suppress through the wall there to get the pick on the grenade thrower, but again, no one really here. And where did he throw that grenade from? Wow, Gladiator must have hucked that from across the map.
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't see it. It does look like Water has one down. I think Aiden will be able to get the res.
Yeah, you're right. He's working his way over to Semper there. Williams not holding any particular angle. And actually, a nade's going to find Gladiator. A nice toss from the Lich King down the center lane. Ends up getting one. Suppressive fire down towards his direction. And William Dunce is... Aiden is the only place he hasn't shot through the wall is where William Dunce is in the corner.
Yeah, pretty much. Aiden's definitely known for that. He likes to lay down heavy cover fire with that M243.
If you aren't aware, in this 5 versus 5 mil sim, it's all about realism. So these fences penetrable with any rifle, and Aiden's using that LMG to sort of just dump rounds somewhat safely through the wood. He could easily be countered by if someone shot back at him through the wood, but he's taking that risk and just trying to suppress.
I'm kind of surprised nobody's attempted a res on the Gladiator. It's kind of safe right now, although it would require a long rotation for anybody to get to him.
what's interesting here is how slow Water are playing this. 2:20 on the clock, and they're not really making any quick, aggressive moves just yet. They're in pretty standard positioning. Lorena Scout's going to take some shots at Lich King, but none of those find any purchase. He's going to stay alive, tucked in behind the shrubs.
Yeah, it might be a matter of they kind of know who they're playing and know their play style a little bit, and have chosen to play a little bit more reserved on the first round to kind of feel it out.
Yeah, when the pressure is on, you know, you oftentimes will take things a little bit easier, at least out the gates, to see if you can get that early advantage to maybe loosen up your play style a bit here. And lots of smokes coming in here from Water. Lorena's going to charge through one, finds Engage. Rob not reacting off those shots. Maybe he didn't hear him. The smoke audio drowning him out. Lorena tries to react and rotate back off of the smoke. Rob able to pick up the shots onto the back. Man-Bear Pig definitely cued in over here to the direction of Rob.
Yeah, it was definitely a great defensive push, although not able to go back to cover quite fast enough.
Vegas goes down. Semper able to find him way over on that west street there, and it's all now down to the lone survivor, Man-Bear Pig, who's honestly in one of the best positions. He has good eyes on objective. He could easily swing here and find Lich King, which he does, and now it's a 1v2. He's going to have to rotate out, get back into some cover, tries to do so. Aiden going to deny that with some good shots down range, picks up Man-Bear Pig, and Water snag a Marsoc round. Theta, thoughts?
Wow, that was a really well executed offense on their part. I was watching their formation pretty closely. They had a 2-2 split on lane 1 and lane 4, and then they sent one up the middle. The lane 4 push got a little shut down there, but they were causing so much damage and distraction on lane 1 that they ended up isolating Man-Bear Pig at the end there. So really nice encirclement on the part of Water on that round.
Yeah, and I mean, especially on Suburbia, oftentimes you'll see the offense favor the opposite side of the map of where the objective is. You know, in this case, I think you could say that lane 1 is almost opposite of this objective side, and it's certainly the farther alternative to approaching the objective. And you know, I don't know if it's the same. Obviously, you're not necessarily moving into the kill box if you're trying to hit the edges, and you know, it's certainly a viable strategy to try and swing wide and get those picks. It worked out. I mean, Aiden, 4 kills there on that round.
Yeah, and having a quality support player, I mean, it's always good to have a quality support player, but he was really doing work over there because not only was he killing lots of people, but just drawing tons of attention, and he got a revive early in the round after Gladiator threw that grenade too, so he was doing a great job supporting his team on that round.
MVP for sure out the gate. And you know, it's interesting because is that a good way to start the round? You know, have one sort of player excel out the gate, because usually you want to kind of get everyone loose, everyone starts getting the feel of things, and if that one player doesn't continue to carry, things could go downhill. So we'll see if Water can get that KD spread across the board as they go on defense for round 2.
I'm gonna put it on lane 4, the FC house, on like the lane 4 side of it. On like a little chilling.
Yeah, Water definitely seemed very coordinated that round, and I think we're going to see that again here with Rome.
Oh yeah, both squads definitely veterans in the VR Master League industry, have plenty of experience playing Onward, and you can see the pre-fire through the walls here to catch out any early rotations up on aggressive positioning. What some teams will opt to do is essentially charge through lane 2 and push themselves up onto a corner so they can then shoot through bushes and take some favorable positions right up in the face of anyone pushing in through playground. Lorena is aware of that, and all this pre-fire is coming through these bushes to deter any sort of potential aggressive defensive moves. But it's going to be a while, especially if they're going to continue to crouch their way through this.
Yeah, they're definitely playing very reserved. I almost wonder if they're not sort of afraid of a defensive push.
It certainly looks like it. They are, you know, very hesitant to charge in here. They seem to feel that someone's going to be right up in here. They're throwing flashbangs up over the ledge. Smokes out here. That was a bit of a wide smoke. Not sure that was an intended location, but yeah, they definitely are anticipating a bit more of a forward defense than is set up right now from Water.
Well, them kind of probing with the flash and the smoke did get the defense to set off a C4 prematurely, so that's definitely good. I like Lorena's position here on the slide, definitely utilizing the map to its fullest.
Get good coverage right out over the midfield. You can check essentially anyone trying to push up on you early. And again, it's that sort of theme of Rome looking for an early pick here. A nade comes out and over. That's not going to catch anyone, although it's a decent position. C4 is getting detonated, and Water also expecting Rome to be a bit more forward than they are. Really, what they do have to keep an eye on is Vegas, who is slowly working his way over on this far west side, excuse me. He's managed to get himself into a pretty tight spot tucked under the truck here. And he's just looking for some early shots through the shrubs.
Yeah, that is a nasty spot that definitely blends in very well there.
Got eyes on Aiden Assassin's patio, trying to suss out if Aiden's looking here. And this is a very risky peek. If you slowly do this, it's certainly going to be a tough challenge. I like the idea of the flash, though. The flash out towards Aiden could do work. It could allow for Vegas to push forward. He needs to do it sooner than later, otherwise Aiden may peek. But this is actually a smoke in hand, so Vegas going to be smoking his way across.
I feel like seeing that smoke move, they're just going to light up that moving smoke, although they haven't done it yet.
They haven't, and he's about to be getting himself behind a Hesco crate and into a decent bit of cover. Yeah, so now he's actually not in a bad spot, and Aiden's got something pinned.
Oh, there's a frag going, and that's going to connect. It doesn't.
Oh, it gets tucked in on the ledge. Still, though, he gets the kill. Aiden able to catch that frag. Man Bear Pig going to be next up on Aiden's hit list, and it's now down into a 2v5 for Rome.
Yeah, Water definitely been picking them apart very well.
Lane 4, another lane 4 down.
Engage able to get William done. Now it's all up to Man Bear Pig. Try and get a Marsoc win, and just like that, our Semper gets Man Bear Pig.
Yeah, he had eyes on Aiden there, and Semper decides to take a little bit of a step up there, peeks up over the shrubs, and finds himself a kill. Rome down another as Water pile on to their lead 2-1. Theta?
So I was watching both formations here, and Rome had an almost identical 2-1-2 split. So 2-on-4, 2-on-1, and then 1 up the middle. And then the main difference in the formation for Water that time was that they had a 3-person line across all the porches. And then they just had a slight bias on like lane 3, lane 4 on the opposite side. So they were basically waiting for them to push out and expose themselves. And I think that just played into the fact that Rome decided to creep a bit, especially on lane 1. And they could just sit patiently and wait because they didn't have anybody on lane 1 facing towards them. And the moment they came out into the open, they started getting picked off. So just a little bit of serendipity in terms of planning working out in Water's favor there. But yeah, could have changed if they had a little bit more exposure on lane 1. I think that attack would have gone a lot better.
Yeah, honestly, a flash would have done them some huge justice over there. You know, if they'd been able to flash Aiden, you can kind of swing that angle a little bit more confidently, potentially win that trade, and then you're just into a whole different ball game. You know, you have the white car here, all kinds of different solid cover to tuck yourself in behind. And it's a lot harder to uproot, you know, an offensive player once they manage to cross this street. So close but no cigar for Rome. Water now going on the offense as we move ourselves into round 3. Oh, false start.
Yep. But that'll give us a moment to talk about the objective. We have tank objective. This one, I think, is maybe Water's most favorite cappable objective.
Yeah, and I mean, again, if you're unfamiliar with the experience that you're seeing here, this is Onward. It's a 5 versus 5 military simulator. The goal here to capture, to push up, enter in a 7-digit code next to this objective that you see that rotates every 2 rounds. Water now just 2 points away from securing this first map, and all they need to do is get up to this tank and punch in a 7-digit code to get them that map win. Of course, easier said than done. We'll see how
Absolutely.
Rome defends, and I mean, yeah, it's going to not be an easy task for Water.
What the fuck? They're gonna free fire. Around there.
Yeah, I definitely like this two-man defense in the center house that kind of gives you 180 degrees of cover onto the approach from Marsoc.
Yeah, it is risky. Manbear Pig, if he peeks out, could end up with an engagement there with Engage. But C4 toss there from Will, not exactly where he wanted it to go, a bit on top of the roof. Nade coming in, catching Lorena Scout over on the east side. That's a very big pickup, and Lorena had a nade primed and ends up killing himself. So Vegas, who was going to swing for the res, can't do it now, and he has to be careful of Semper, who's managed to tuck himself into a decent spot over on that far east side. He's definitely threatening the defense here, and there's a bit of a gap in coverage. I think they could potentially push themselves through Playground.
Yeah, the playground approach definitely wide open. If they're able to clear out that center house and catch El Vegas off guard, they might be able to get up for a cap, although he is close and it would be easy for him to rotate onto objective.
But I mean, it is a heavily. They have two inside the middle building. Williams way over there by APC, busy with Engage. I think he just flashed Engage over there, so Engage is in a bit of a pause on that side. And I mean, essentially, Aiden, if he gets the right smoke, could work his way up to that objective and punch in the code. And I know Water with 5 alive here and 1 down are certainly considering working up to that cap.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely go for it. Yeah, right now I think they're just trying to figure out the lay of the land, try to get a beat on where everybody is. And then once they're fairly confident they know, I think we're going to see smokes on objective and an attempt on the objective.
They really need Semper to pick off Vegas here. He needs to find this kill onto Vegas for it to really open up. Although, if he just keeps Vegas's attention, Aiden may be able to slip under the cracks.
Yeah, he's kind of proning out here. Definitely a good approach for the time being.
One down, middle house.
Lich King scooped up Gladiator in middle house. He's going to challenge Manbear Pig potentially, and Manbear Pig's dialed in on the stairs. So again, a bit of a lack of coverage. Williams rotated around very nicely to watch this gap, but he's not really watching Aiden, and that's a huge smoke. That's going to deny vision from William onto Aiden. Lich King's going to pick up Manbear Pig inside the 2-story, and now this Rome defense is in a bad way. Vegas goes down. Williams the last alive. Aiden getting picked up. Huge kill there from Will, but objective is open. Wow. What could have been a cap there certainly ends up in a Marsoc W for Water. So either way, a good result for them, but could have been the map. Theta, that was a close one.
Yeah, that attack really worked out for them. They were pushing hard through Playground. In fact, they only sent Engage on lane 1, and Rome's defense was stacked up on middle house, and they had 1 person on the lawn, but that arrangement ended up working against them the moment that middle house got cleaned out, and the objective was open there, but they elected to take the kill, which makes sense. I mean, if you can't push it and make it happen, just get the W.
Yeah, we see, especially with some of these top teams, that sort of in the moment judgment, right? What do you do? Do I go for the pick? Do I suppress and let my team cap? Do I risk losing this round by not getting this kill that's right in front of me? It's a lot of very quick snap decisions that have to be made, and if you're not really all on the same page in terms of what you're looking to do as a team, it's very hard to not take that shot and not get that kill. So either way, a win for Water. They're up 3-0. And we might be going into a brief pause since it does seem like there's a disconnect from Rome. Sandra, any thoughts on the match so far? Water is certainly looking good.
Yeah, I mean, Water's definitely been very strong. We haven't really had that close of a round yet. I definitely think Water's going to run away with this map.
They've got the momentum. You know, they certainly have a good bit of that momentum. They are riding it well, and that last win was a very strong W. So I'm sure Rome feeling a bit of the pressure here. Hopefully the Reina can be back into the mix in a few, but Theta, are you surprised at all at how Water's performing right now? You expected Water to come out on top in this Division 2 finals, or at least you predicted it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this is not necessarily just pure domination. It's just a few unfortunate setups on defense not working out for Rome. And one of their offenses, I think, just didn't quite play into the way that the defense was set up. And there's really no way of knowing that ahead of time. But yeah, in general, I would say it's not terribly surprising. Like, you could see the precision that they're playing with on this particular objective. For example, that smoke, which you pointed out. I mean, that smoke was pretty much exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better placement. Perfectly denying vision from that APC side to the entry up there. And, you know, it does deny vision, but doesn't block bullets, right? You know, if a savvy player should recognize that if a line of sight's blocked like that, something's coming. And you did see shots come through and get that prone, get mono on the ground.
Yeah, just in general, it looked like they had a well-rehearsed game plan on that objective, at least from my perspective.
Oh, and this is interesting. Rome subbing out Lorena Scout here after a tough 3-0 start to the series. They've brought in Big Mike, so we'll see what effect that has on the series. Maybe Rome can start to mount their comeback as we hop into round 4.
Yo, Rob, you're in middle. Balling out. Be careful.
Right, no, I'm in spawn house.
Or not yet.
Yeah, spawn house.
Yeah, Adon and Semper here in spawn are worried about the pre-fire, although Marsoc doesn't have that spawn that would allow that. Kind of an interesting thing. You could shoot right back into spawn if you're on the right side.
C4 tossed out over by APC side. Lich King dancing around on the bottom floor of middle house looking for any early aggression up through the center. He doesn't spot that though, and instead Aiden's gonna find a nice nade on the man bear.
Yeah, man bear is resable though, and Big Mike's definitely gonna get the res here.
Oh, Lich King swings onto Vegas. Big Mike flashed out but didn't catch anyone. Ultimately does get the res onto man bear Pig.
Yeah, behind middle house, just throwing nades and shit.
Yeah, it looks like Gladiator's going for that res on El Vega, so he will have to be careful, as Lich King could easily peek back out this window. It would be wise for him to just try and get the pick before he goes for the res, as I'm sure Lich King's just using him as bait.
Big Mike's trying to find some shots up onto the second story from way back here on the red car. He's catching a bit of heat from the middle of the lane, but he'll be fine as he's tucked himself in and now patiently waiting. I mean, this is a very reserved Rome offense right now.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely trying to feel it out, play it safe. I mean, if they lose this round, they've lost the map. So you definitely have to play a little more conservative than maybe you would.
Yeah, absolutely true. The pressure is on right now, and they have gotten one kill. Lich King is down and resable, so he actually should be able to radio in some pretty good info to his team looking through the window. Manbear Pig finds Aiden Assassin. Not sure where he shot him from. Oh, it was a nade up over the top, and our Semper's going to be there for the res.
It is one thing, definitely, when you get into this level of play, a down player does not stay down for very long.
Couple of quick picks for Water. Instantly turn the tides. Just like that, the one early kill they had means nothing as they're into a 4v3.
Yeah, with one being resable on the side of Water, although I don't think it's going to come out. Not with Gladiator up in the center house right now. Although he does have to be careful there. He's starting to get in the line of sight. There he goes.
Yeah, Rob from the second story found those shots. William Dunn's trying to draw a bit of a distraction over here on the east, but it might end up hurting him more because now Semper's lasered in onto this angle, waiting for Will to peek.
El Vegas, though, proning his way up through lane 2, has gotten on the middle house porch.
I think he was trying to stealth. I don't think he wanted to shoot there. He waited until Aiden really saw him until he took those shots. And yeah, he has snuck his way up here. Should be able to get up there and confirm Lich King. And then it's going to be a 2v3.
Alive. Upstairs. Who's in? Yo, someone's in here, bro. Come on now.
I'm just listening to the callouts from Lich King.
Yep. He heard a bit of a adjustment in the headset from Vegas as he was prone and ended up radioing that into his team. So Rob, Engage, Semper should have an idea that one's inside middle. And Semper's lasered in here as he wants to make sure William doesn't rotate on the east.
And he did seem to kind of back off from that approach. He's rotating around now. 45 seconds remaining, though.
Yeah.
Ugh. Not a lot of time.
Not a lot at all. Smokes are out. They are kind of shutting down the audio from Engage. Semper thankfully has eyes on objective because that could have been a gap in coverage. Engage definitely wasn't watching out for those smokes, and now it's going to come down to Will, who finds one. Shots from Rob up onto the second story end up picking off William Dunce. Water take map 1 4-0 in relatively dominating fashion.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Rome just not able to put up a point, not able to quite crack the code on Water on this one. You know, things can always change on different maps, but I think for the close quarters kind of thing, Water definitely has it.
Theta, what do you think of that first map?
So, in my opinion, in this game and many other competitive games, it's not necessarily about how fast you are, it's just how fast you are relative to your opponent and how well you adapt to that. And, you know, everybody was expecting, I would say, Rome and Water to come out swinging, you know, come out really quick. But what's happened, I think, is you could see some trepidation on the side of Rome after some of their attacks were denied. And that's a critical psychological factor in any game. I think that really took a toll on them. And you could see it. You even pointed it out in that last round that their offense was very slow compared to what you were expecting. And I think that's really working against them.
Yeah, it's... Again, you know, it's interesting when you get down into this tournament time. Some teams want to change it up and go with something different than what's worked for them over the course of, you know, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And, you know, we've seen it work, albeit very, very close for beginners in this Division 1 finals. But I just think that if you're going to really you want to put your best foot forward, why wouldn't you want to go with those maps and the strats that you've really honed in and practiced the most? Instead of trying to throw a wild card, maybe we can win off of this crazy strat sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm not sure. It seems, like you said, a bit of a shift in play style that ultimately led to that Water one-sided map. And we're going to go to Cargo for map 2. And Theta, I want to go back to you. What do you think about this second map pick?
This could very well be the equalizer. You know, they have to know that the match is on the line now. The finals championship is on the line. And maybe they'll go back to their bread and butter. And especially, let's see, so Rome is on offense on the center objective. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've played against Rome on this objective, and it's not fun. They are very good at capping this. They dump smokes on it, they dump flashes and frags, and then Gladiator shows up in that container and caps it within 30 seconds in some cases. So they could really set a new tempo if they could pull that off. But I think if they show up and start playing slow again, they're going to be in for a bumpy ride because Water will not do that.
Oh, we're off to an interesting start, to say the least. Water really doing well on Suburbia. They're looking clean. And I mean, if you want to talk about momentum, 4-0, not a single round scored for Rome. I mean, Xandria, if you're in Rome right now, you really have to do a hard reset.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're kind of playing a little bit conservative. I think they need to shake it up and get aggressive and especially opening up on the Deadly Diamond. I mean, that's probably this objective favors aggression more than any other. So I think they definitely have to open up and hit hard.
The Deadly Diamond.
I always call it the
I haven't
Deadly
heard that
Diamond.
I like that one. It certainly is a dangerous diamond. There's all sorts of D's you could go with for the diamond objective, but yeah, it is definitely an interesting one. We saw a bit of a pause there on Water's side. I don't think we're seeing any subs, and nothing shifting from Rome out of that last map. Big Mike staying in here, so both teams in lobby ready to go, taking their time between maps, and they did honestly take their time between rounds. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but they did seem to be, you know, taking that full minute and a half to sort of hash out strategy.
Yeah, and again, it might just be to either side's benefit to start pushing the pace and just say, all right, let's get this going and see who reacts more poorly to that situation.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's Rome, then Water is really in a position to run away with it, right? They could really take this cargo map quick. And if Rome, but, you know, now is the time, right? Rome, come out this map, come out on this objective, guns blazing, maybe snag themselves a Marsoc round one. The odds could shift in their favor, but it's going to take a bit of work. Still waiting for both of these teams to get readied up here for this second map, but yeah, quite a map one for the Division 2 finals.
It's the diabolical diamond. Who knows what'll happen?
I gotta show them. I'm sure everyone curious what we're talking about. This is the objective. This is the diamond. And yeah, it's just chaos. This objective is just chaos. We're about to see how chaotic it can get as we hop in to round one of map number 2. Water, with a commanding lead, are on the defensive. Rome need to answer back here. This is their map pick, and we'll see if they can do it to get into the mix.
Hey, Phonic, watch that spot you like to sit in. Might be there. Yep. Alright.
Was that an M203?
It was. An M203 smoke out. The quick cap called from Water. Not sure if it is what Rome is trying to do, but there are smokes out. The M203 shot is there. Vegas utilizing that smoke he shot to get himself up onto the corner. Aiden swings in through the tunnel and finds Man Bear Pig. Williams going to rotate off of that side. C4 gets tossed out. That doesn't catch Will, and Will's waiting for Aiden to peek out. Lots of utility getting flung his way. Aiden able to retreat off of that utility usage, and he's done his job. 2 down. He's going to tuck back in and defend.
Yeah, that was definitely a wild defensive push, but it paid off.
Rob finds one. Lich King picking up Big Mike. Rome not having an easy go about this cargo map.
All up to William and up against 5 of Water. I just don't see this happening.
Especially with how Water are playing right now. I mean, putting out some good plays right there. I mean, that push down the tunnel to find those kills, utilizing all the utility he had on his vest, gets 2 and then drops immediately back. And it's really just, it's thrown William Dunce for a loop. He has to watch the tunnel. And it's so many other angles he's got to be aware of. It's definitely a hard approach from this side for him now.
Yeah, and the way Water, I mean, they peek corners like a hummingbird. It's so hard to know if they're going to be there or not to even cross.
Flash. I guess I like it because you do see the attention there shifting from Water. And I think he flashed 3 people. I think he got all 3 inside the diamond, but again, doesn't really work off of it. Shifts around to the other side of the map, and not sure what his plan is, but he has time. He has 3 minutes to come up with something.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing the work that Water's put in. I mean, only 2 minutes in, and already it's down to 1 of Rome. Yeah, Williams definitely feeling it. I mean, he's clear back in their spawn, peeking angles and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's expecting an aggressive Water push right now, and it just is not coming through.
No, I mean water know what they have to do. They know they're 5 strong. They probably have a good kill count, so they know there's only one defender. They just have to sit and wait to see what angle he comes from. You know, and even if William gets a pick or 2, there's going to be 3 more there to get the refrag.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Although on cargo, out of all the maps, I think I've seen 1v5s happen more often here than anywhere else. So, you know, the quick corners can lead to some craziness, and the question is William Dunst going to be ready for Semper tucked in here?
Yes. I mean, William's being quiet, but Semper, he's not watching the crack. So if William peeks quickly, he might be okay, but I don't know. Let's watch and see.
No, Will's not even eyes on here over on this side. Semper now aware Will is there, swings around the corner, finds the shots onto his back and around into the hands of Water. 5 unanswered points for the Water squad. Theta, what's your bird's eye view spot for us out of that round?
So a little bit of an interesting contradiction that round. They started out before the round timer even hit 0. They launched an M203 smoke, and immediately the Water defense reacted to that. They said quick cap, as Andrea pointed out, and they sent out Adon down tunnel side and just started picking the offense apart. So they sent out that smoke, and then they actually slowed down. They really did not try to push hard. And Water's response was, well, they're going to come in aggressively. We're going to meet aggression with aggression, and Rome was just not ready for that.
On a map like Cargo, you have to be prepared for anything, because you could easily have the defense push forward on you and try and get those early picks. We'll see what Rome does here as we hop into round 2, because it has been, again, 5 unanswered points from the likes of Water.
Yeah, and I think if Rome's not careful here, it's going to be 7.
Yeah, the dangerous diamond, just as deadly to Rome as it is to Water, and Water looking as good as they are, certainly considering the cap option. Manbear Pig coming down the lane, the nade's there, not in time, flashed on demand, the swing comes in. William Dunst gets picked up by Rob in the center. Water have 2 dead and are into the 4v3.
Lots of defensive utility coming out. It's kind of stalled out the offense here.
One is up directly on
Yeah, Water's definitely slowed down. They're just trying to get a feel for it.
Gladiator able to get Lich King on the corner there. Rob finds Big Mike around the crate. Gladiator getting a little overzealous. Gets shot by Phonic on the corner, and now it's all up to the lone survivor, El Vegas.
Oh, and he's being a bit cheeky. Playing dead on objective.
See how long this works.
I think he'll get 1 or 2. If they filter in one at a time, he'll be better off. But if they all come in together, no.
I think holding the gun is certainly... Oh, he's not holding his gun. It's right there to grab, though.
I've definitely seen El Vegas do this before, and it's always the frag. Oh, the frag.
The nade right on top of his face ends up catching him out, and I was really waiting to see if that was going to come to fruition. Theta, I've never seen that in a league match.
Yeah, same. I've seen Vegas play dead before, but definitely not in the finals match or anything. And wow, yeah, and then the grenade lands right on top of him. That was brutal.
Yeah, really shutting down that play there. But I mean, what did you think of that overall round? I mean, Water just looking good on offense there.
Yeah, I mean, they played it really fast at first. I thought they were going to go for a quick cap. Didn't happen. You know, Rome started kind of picking them apart a little bit, and they slowed down. But, you know, I mean, I just saw obviously able to get the win.
Yeah, and they tried to do exactly what Water did to them, right? You saw the push down the tunnel. Water seemingly a little bit more ready for it.
Right.
Yeah, in general, a lot was happening there. There was one span where I think there were 3 or 4 kills, and I could not keep track of all of it. But I did see the man bear push near the tunnel, and did not work out quite as well as it did for Water.
No, it did not. Now Rome definitely, again, in need of a round. It has been 6 unanswered points. An opportunity for a cap here to get themselves right back into it is certainly there, but Water are not letting up right now.
No, not at all. And one thing about this objective is this little, what would you call it, a hallway back behind these buildings is so dark. You cannot see defenders back there at all.
Yeah, usually you'll see a defense tuck in there. You can see Phonic working his way up. Vegas actually has gotten himself into an interesting position that I don't think anyone would really expect. Rob is the only one that's going to shut this down, and Vegas needs to kill Rob. Down he goes. And now where is Semper? Semper not necessarily anticipating Vegas to be at this spot. Whoa.
You know, but the Lich King was able to get the pick onto him.
Now we got to watch Semper as he is looking to get aggressive, the 4v3, and he's starting to swing out looking for some picks.
Yeah, I feel like Rome's offense is a little bit disorganized, the way that they are pushing up.
One more down.
Wow,
Another
Lich
down.
King with a double, a very nice play
Flashes left side.
to get 2 kills. He's looking to finish this thing off and get Manbear Pig in the trade. Manbear swinging, goes down to Semper. Water, 7 unanswered points right now. They are 1 away from taking the Division 2 finals in a full sweep.
You don't see that too often.
Yeah. What's interesting here is that we're not really seeing anything new from either side, right? We've been on to Suburbia, which, granted, we got to see some kind of interesting plays, but we're not seeing a heavy use of flashbangs. We are seeing a lot of utility come out here, but no, it's interesting to see the playstyle still sort of staying how they have been for Water and Rome here in this Division 2 finals. And honestly, I mean, again, Water just seemingly more practice. I don't know what it is, but yeah, they're just a little bit more in sync than Rome are today.
Yeah, I really think if you look at these teams on paper, they're very similar. I would gauge that the difference today is probably mental. I think they are maybe a little on tilt after the last map, and it's really hurting them right now.
Yeah, you know, it's tough to work through some of those mental challenges, and especially if you're not getting kills in this game, it really wears down on you. And right now, Rome have not had, again, a single round the entire series, so they are getting worn down on. That's going to be a nice bit of boost of confidence, though, and that's going to be another one. 2 going down onto Water, Rome into the 5v3 right away, and Gladiator's getting aggressive. He's looking for more. He's hunting inside the crates here. Does have a little potential angle on the Phonic, but doesn't see him there as Phonic's tucked in. Oh, as I say that, Phonic stands up. 2 for Gladiator. He's going to drop back. Water now just down to Aiden and Rob.
You know, one thing about that offensive LMG cover fire is that it also covers any defenders who are running up on you. Oh, and Gladiator looks away at the wrong moment, gets taken down by Robbie.
Good quick peek from him, gets himself that kill. Rob's going to try flash his way out there. No, that's a nade over towards objective, but 1 kill down for the Water comeback. It's certainly a tall order, though. The 4v2 not going to be easy.
Be careful with that lane further.
No, not at all, but it definitely, you know, I call it guerrilla warfare, where you peek up, get one, and then run away. If anybody's going to do that, it's going to be Water.
Wow, the trade there, that's not going to be good for Water. You don't necessarily want one of those because now there's no res available. Smoke comes up and over, and that's actually a very good smoke into the center of objective, but it's not where Aiden's going to be pushing from. So just the distraction piece, Manbear Pig is going to be the one he's got to worry about.
Yeah, back in this little corner, you don't typically look to check this one. And oh, and the C4. Finally, you know, Rome answers 7 points, finally gets 1.
I mean, let's go back to your point there, Theta. I feel like Rome has been on tilt, but they're a team that can compete. They're a team that can put up score lines against the likes of Water. On paper, they are relatively close in terms of being matched. And right there was a much better round from Rome, I would say.
Yeah, I really don't think, you know, again, on paper, just talking in pure hypotheticals here, that either one has a massive skill advantage. These are all experienced, skilled players. And this is just what happens when you go up the ladder a bit is it really isn't about who is best at tactics or anything. It's just who can stay mentally composed better than the other. And that last round shows me there is hope for Rome. I mean, they may have just come out and said, you know what, we're tired of this. We're going to do something about it now. It's exactly the attitude you need to have for a comeback.
Where are we going for our next objective, though? Because Water does have that defensive advantage. And I think we are going, to the back far north of the map. So not arguably one of the harder objectives to cap on here. And all Water are really going to need to do is just tuck in and hold a solid D.
Yeah, you definitely have this line that everybody has to cross, and it's advantageous to be able to cover that. You know, you get a defender on each side, and there's this sort of wall of death that you have to pass through.
Yeah, it's definitely an easy kill box to set up for a defense, and we'll see what Water does on defense as we hop into round number 5. Yes, 5 of map 2. Water just 1 point away from the Division 2 Finals W. All they got to do is hang on. Rome, meanwhile, backs against the wall, and they've been against the wall. 4-0 loss map 1, and now they're trying to come back from a deficit here. Got 1. Can they get 2 is the question as they go on offense.
Yeah, Lich King definitely looking for an early pick, although he's been a little bit conservative with it.
Middle left container.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about quick peeking here. Lich is just all over the place with his peeks. Here's the communication from Gladiator. Throws the nade, not going to be quite where he needs it to go. Gladiator's inside and tucked in, so Wall's going to prevent that from doing damage. And he's taking shots, he's swinging around, and Lich King is just all over the place again here. Pops out Man-Bear Pig, waiting for that moment. A nice bit of bait from Gladiator almost gets Man-Bear Pig the kill, but it's not enough.
Yeah, Lich King definitely going to have to be careful of El Vegas being super sneaky coming up the tunnel. I don't think Lich King's thinking about that at all. M203 smoke, nicely placed. Gets Gladiator up into the face of Lich King as he's trying to reload. Gladiator also able now to get himself some well-placed smokes. No, neither of those, honestly, going where he needs them to. Yeah, not really. He kind of rotates off of it. Rob able to get El Vegas, though, as he's creeping up through the tunnel, although he is resable. Be kind of a suicide mission to go for it, though.
Gladiator is here. Semper finally IDs him. The res is coming in. Williams going to come down through the tunnel. Get the res on the Vegas, so we're into a 4v3 now. Water really have to tuck in, and Rome looking good. I gotta wonder how much utility they have left for this attack.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they've used quite a bit, so there's probably not much left. We have Aiden here in the northwest. I don't think he's fired a shot yet. Rome may not even know he's there. Although you certainly should assume somebody is in that position.
Semper takes some shots. A flashbang tossed out. Aiden C4's Vegas. That's a full kill. No res available. William finds one. Manbear swings out here. Shots onto him, but no, don't find any success. Phonic goes down. Semper trying to swing and rotate. But this is Rome's map to win. Semper has to cling on. He's on a huge swing. William Dunce inside could be capping. He can't let that happen. Man-Bear Pig wins in a trade. Rome hang on here and push it up 2-3. They don't want this to end.
No, they don't. And they're definitely building momentum. It felt a lot stronger even that round. You know, this could be a comeback.
Theta, do you see the fire in Rome's eyes starting to light?
Yeah, it's getting spicy, no doubt. And I will say, this is also kind of a game you have to play with yourself when you're ahead. The military even has a term for it. It's called victory disease, where you start to relax a little bit when you get that lead. You know, Water was on defense. They had 1 point to go, and you could tell they were holding back. They were playing a little more defensively than they normally were because they just wanted to secure that win. And then Rome came in with a decent amount of aggression and took that round. So it's something you really have to be careful with. I mean, even if you're ahead, you need to be willing to finish. So we'll see if Water can do that on offense now. But Rome now has the defensive advantage, and they could very easily tie it up here.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge Marsoc W for them to secure themselves, because this is not an easy objective to attack and to just be able to get the kills. You know, not necessarily the cap, but just the kills to get themselves that point and get themselves on the defense. It's a very nice swing. And yeah, I don't know. Water have been looking good on offense, you know, granted. So I don't think this is necessarily an easy round into the belts of Rome. But hey, Rome are mounting the comeback right here, and they are doing it well.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's probably close to a coin flip at this point. I think Rome is composing themselves again, so this will be a good round, I suspect.
Heavy smoke presence coming in early from the likes of Rome down that one lane, so maybe they're going to go for a bit of an aggressive defensive maneuver.
The heavy LMG fire is. It's not on that side though, so.
There's no push coming from that side either, so smokes maybe just to sort of draw the attention. Vegas, I guess, did push up to those barrels. Aiden so close to being in danger here on this doorway.
Yeah, as he pushes out, I mean, one peek from Big Mike, and it's going to be all over. It looks like Aiden is aware of Big Mike on that position.
Very much so. The problem is he can't stay here for long. That's a good nade toss. Doesn't get quite into the doorway, though. Going to blow up in the corner. Aiden going to live another day, and the water push working their way in.
Yeah, I definitely like Water's strategy where they kind of form this line that kind of slowly advances up the map. It feels very rigid on the sideline.
Smoke start coming in. Big Mike's getting a little worried about Aiden's exit out of tunnel. And Water not really getting the smoke placements I think they were hoping for here. Flash comes out and over. That's a good one. Not good enough. Man-Bear Pig had the long-range angle. I think he blinded Vegas, but Man-Bear was watching as Overwatch, and so a good bit of teamwork there to get the kill. Rome, again, looking good into the 5v4.
Rome definitely gonna have to be careful. I see a lot of rotations. That's a good way to get caught out.
There's another one right behind you in this little red container to the left.
Gladiator trying to get confirm kills. Those are risky. Big Mike has eyes on to Lich King here. Lucky that box isn't penetrable.
One on me, behind the red container.
And not sure if Lich King's gonna go for this res or not.
I don't know what.
Split second, somebody could peek out and take him down if he does.
Flash up and over. Completely blinding Lich King. Not sure why he held that angle there, as Big Mike was able to swing and pick him off. Phonic staying crouched avoids Gladiator's bit of fire, and Phonic may be able to get the res here. He needs it, because Rome, they are looking good. 4v3, they have the angles covered. Vegas is tucked in. This is not going to be an easy job for Water.
Yeah, Rome definitely looking a little nervous. I mean, there's zigging and zagging back there, whereas Water's just very still, kind of. I think they're waiting for those rotations to pick out the defense as they move. I can't get over Phonic just sitting here in the open like this.
It is interesting. Phonic able to get Aiden rezzed here, but now they're both trapped in this corner.
Get that smoke.
Aiden tossing out a couple of utility. A flash goes up and over. That might have caught Big Mike. Big Mike on a big drop back there.
Not really capitalizing on it. Looks like Big Mike's back in the fight now.
Aiden gonna try and cross. Vegas shuts that down. Now it's Rob's turn to get Vegas, but Rob can't get that angle without exposing himself a bit too much. Big Mike continuing to swing back and forth inside this red crate is making it tough. 30 seconds left. Vegas goes down. A huge swing from Rob. An absolutely massive kill from Rob opening this up. Is he going to be ready for the long-range hold from Man-Bear Pig? Though, no, he's not. Man-Bear Pig finds one. Is he going to get the second? Because Phonic's going to test his luck down this lane, too. 15 seconds left. He does. Man-Bear Pig, the hero, keeps Rome in at 3-3 there, not letting this one go.
Wow, we're tied up now, coming back from 3-0, I believe.
Wow. Yeah,
Rome can just ride this momentum just one more round. It's going to be a tie game.
You know, when it was 3-0, you said Theta not to count Rome out here because they are equally matched, if not on paper, as Water. And here they are, tying things up for the final map. The only saving grace for Water is that they do have the defensive advantage, but Rome have managed to win Marsoc rounds that are very hard Marsoc rounds to win. So I just don't know where this potentially final round is going to take us. Maybe we're going to go to a map 3.
Yeah, I'd like to see a lot of aggression here out of the offense if they want to take it. Because, again, I think Water is psychologically, you know, I don't know what's going on exactly in their heads, but just from what I'm seeing, it seems like they're on their back foot.
Yeah.
And if Rome could just pour gas on the fire, so to speak, that would really do them a huge service. You could see a little bit of hesitancy in that last round. All those Water players caught up near the tunnel. I think they are still in a little bit of a conservative, like, let's just be careful and win this mindset. And Rome is in a winning mindset right now, which is very dangerous for Water.
Yeah, they have nothing. They essentially had nothing to lose when it was 3-0, right? I mean, nothing and everything, right? You just kind of got to go for it. You got to get that W. If you don't, you're done. And so that pressure is there, but maybe it's, I don't know. They're clearly working well under it, that's for sure. They definitely turned up here in the last 3 rounds because it was 7 unanswered points until now.
Yeah, I think the spice is flowing on this last round for sure.
We'll see. We'll see if Water or Rome have what it takes to take map 2. Water just a round away from the series and the Division 2 finals win. Rome just a round away from taking it to map 3.
Yeah, and we do have the not-so-north objective, which means there is that sneaky cap spot. Although I do believe Water is ready for that one.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that. Aiden definitely looking to get aggressive up in those cargo crates, but maybe just tossed the C4 and backed off because everyone here on Water is tucked in waiting for the push. Yeah, and this is just going to be a slow one. I think we're going to get down to the last minute and a half before we see any moves because it is all on the line for both teams here.
I really like that C4 placement. That really covers a lot of approaches.
Wow, and if you want to talk about a way to kick it off for Water, a huge pick from Lich King. He's got a bit of an unorthodox angle here as he's crossed the street and tucked into this corner. And after getting that pick, he's had enough of that. Drops back off, goes to reinforce the rest of his defensive team, and it's perfect because no one's shifting over to the east now after that pick.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to fall into like the lemming effect that we see sometimes. And it is smart for him to rotate off of there because you don't want to get blown up by a frag.
Oh,
Ooh.
Speaking of.
Oh.
Come the utility from the likes of Marsoc. Smoke's coming out. Not exactly optimal. Gladiator gonna push out here. The C4 detonates, doesn't get him. Semper's the one that's gonna find that kill, in Rome are in a bad way here. 2v5 with 3 minutes left, and they know the situation they're in.
Yeah, and they're pushed clear back. They kind of have to start covering the map all over again. This is definitely not looking good for Rome right now.
utility still left on the table here for Water as a flashbang comes out. Doesn't get anybody. Big Mike goes down. Man Bear Pig finds Lich King. So a 1-for-1, but not what you need for Man Bear. He needs that teammate alive because now he's in a 1v4.
Yeah, he does the right thing. He rotates back. Gonna pick another angle. Although he does have 2.5 minutes left, so I mean he's got plenty of time to kind of push up, get a pick, retreat, rinse and repeat. But man, it's a tall order.
We'll see what he's made of here. The 1v4. The Hiatus tournament finals coming down to this. If he wins, they move on to another map. If he doesn't, it is Water's series locked in. The pressure definitely on Man Bear Pig, and we've seen Rome do well under the pressure. So I'm not writing off Man Bear Pig just yet in this 1v4. Oh, great flash on
nice.
December.
Oh, shoot him in the foot. Doesn't. Oh, Robbie rotates in.
Oh. And Phonic also taking an angle as soon as he took those shots. Water reacting nicely. That is going to be map number 2 in the books for Water, and ultimately the series. Your guys' predictions spot on. And Theta, I mean, wow, what a second map.
Yeah, that one, I think it fell apart a little early for them because they lost, I think it was William, if I remember correctly, right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And in this game, if you lose one person early, it's such a massive disadvantage, especially when you're on offense, and things just kind of went downhill from there. And then Gladiator did, to his credit, try to get a cap, but just a little too out in the open, not enough smoke cover.
Yep.
And that put it into a 2v5, and it was just pretty much sealed at that point.
Yeah, I mean, they really went for it, right? I mean, what else? You got to try and do something. You got to try and get that W somehow. And it's certainly a risky play, and that's why it's risky, because you have your pad out, you're not shooting. But, I mean, what would you have done, Zan, right? I mean, when you're in that position, if the pressure's on, you just have to make those decisions when you see them.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get it. He didn't see anybody. He thought maybe in the chaos he could run up there and get it.
Yep.
But I feel like it was a little bit greedy at that point, especially if you had an accurate kill count, which was what? There was 4 remaining.
Yeah, plenty left alive to properly defend that objective, to say the least. But quite a comeback mounted there at the end. Rome nearly snagging map 2, almost taking us to a map 3. We aren't going to be going there, unfortunately. We are done with the series, but what an exciting way to wrap up this Hiatus tournament. I mean, again, we've said it every time, but a huge shout out to the mods, James Boak, for putting this and organizing this thing together. It has been a great reprieve of Onward in this break from the regular season, which starts next week. So if you are enjoying the VRML action you're seeing here, you want to create a team, you want to register, head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward, where you can register for a team, register to be a reservist. You can join as a sub if a team needs a fifth. All kinds of options to get involved in the league. Also, obviously, head on over to the Discord, and a shout out to all of our sponsors. You see them right here to my right. They are numerous, and they help contribute prizes to the league so that we can offer cool stuff for our players that compete at the top level. That is going to be it from us. Xandra, any final thoughts on the series?
One thing I noticed is I thought I was going to see a lot more aggression out of Water, and they definitely played slow and tight, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, shifting up in play style, something we've seen already in these finals. And Theta, any final words?
No, I think they just did what I was expecting, which was control the tempo.
Yeah.
And I will say, to Rome's credit, they did a very good job of bringing it to 3-3 on the decider map. Last round just didn't go their way, but Water definitely had the better game plan, I would say.
Absolutely agree with you. And hey, predictions across the board accurate. Water coming out on top. That is going to be it from us here on the desk. My name has been Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-casters, Xandria and Theta. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you all next week with VRML regular season.
Looking forward to it.
Later, everybody.